So I made in such a way that you can see the top portion, so it'll be easy for us to learn. So basically, right now I'm going to have calculate these four components for the deseasonalized. So the first component is sigma TYD. T times YD, sigma of that is the total. Okay, that is 16,534. So I'm going to bring that right over here. So that is the first one. So I got that. The second one is N times T average times YD average. What is N? N is the number of periods. How many periods we have? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. We have 8 periods. So I'm going to take this as 8 periods times the T average. The T average is 4.5 times the YD average. The YD average is 411.25. And that is going to be my second component, 14,805. My third component is sigma T squared. Sigma T squared is here. Sigma T squared is this 204, which is the total of T squared. And that is going to be equal to 204. The fourth one is N times the T average squared, which is going to be equal to, we know what is N. N is 8. So 8 times what is T average squared. T average is 4.5 times, again, 4.5. T average squared. And that is my fourth component. So now I can calculate B. B is equal to the first component minus the second component. See this? There is a minus sign. That's the reason. Divided by the third component, which is 204, minus the fourth component, which is 162. And that is my B. And my B is 41.19. Okay. How do I calculate A? You remember, A is the intercept on x is equal to 0 on the y. So A is going to be equal to the intercept. And how do I calculate the intercept? If I take y is equal to a plus bt, okay, what is A? A is equal to bt minus y. Okay. Sorry. If I'm going, A is equal to y minus bt, because I'm going to bring the bt on the other side, so A is on the side, so y minus bt. So A is equal to y minus bt. But which y I can take? Because y is basically so many different data. And t also has so many different data. So I don't know which one to take. What I'm going to do is to take the average here to calculate A. So to calculate A, I'm going to take this as y average, which is what my y is here. My y average is not this demand, but the deseasonalized YD, which is this 411.325. It's the same thing, but I'm going to use this. This is a YD. So this is actually YD. Okay, YD, the average of YD minus what is B? B is calculated 41.19 times what is my T average? T average is my 4.5. Okay, and that comes to 225.89. So my linear equation is going to be equal to YD is going to be equal to A, which is 225.89 plus B, which is 41.19 times the T. That is going to be my linear equation for deseasonalized demand. I can use this equation and plug in the values of T for maybe the next period, which is 9, and 10 and 11 and 12, I can find the forecast now. Okay, see that? This is how we do it. Let's do the same thing for seasonalized demand as well. The seasonalized demand is TY, which is not different than TYD. This is sigma TY. Sigma TY is what? This one here. So the sigma TY is 17,000. The N times T average times Y average is going to be, N is 8 times Y average, T average is 4.5 times Y average, which is 2125, which is 76,500. Sigma T squared is going to be the same, this sigma T squared, which is going to be 204. And N times T average squared is going to be N times, N is 8, times T average is 4.5, times 4.5 is 162. See here, both the denominator is going to be the same, whether it's going to be a seasonalized or deseasonalized. Okay, let's calculate B. Now B is going to be equal to the same way, but we're going to use these data here. So B is going to be equal to sigma TY, which is 17,000, minus N times T minus Y, which is 76,000, divided by so 17,000, which is AK16, minus NTY, NT average, Y average, which is 14,805. So this 14,805, we got it as 8 times T average, which is 4.5 times Y average, which is 411.25. Okay, and I'm going to take this divided by sigma T squared, which is going to be 204, minus N times T squared, which is the fourth component. Actually, let's be consistent. I'm going to use this here, minus my fourth component, 162, and that comes to 52.26. Similarly, we're going to calculate now the the average Y. The average Y is going to be equal to 411.25 minus B times, B is 52.26 times T average is 4.5, and that comes to 176.7. So my seasonalized demand equation is going to be equal to Y is equal to 176.07. Okay, plus B is 52.26 times T. That is my seasonalized demand. So now I have the equation for seasonalized as deseasonalized. Now I should be able to calculate So I'm going to copy this here so it'll be easy for me, so you guys can see it. So I'm going to make it here, and then I'm going to copy this and then make it here so that we can calculate the final answers. So the final answer is going to be that for the seasonalized demand and the deseasonalized demand. So let's see which is what. For the deseasonalized demand, we're going to calculate with 9. So that is going to be equal to 225.89 plus 41.19 times this 9. That is because this 9 is here, which is actually AT16. Okay, and that's for the seasonalized demand. It is going to be 176.07 plus 52.26 times this 9 again, 8016. So this is what I have for deseasonalized and demand for the next year. So for quarter 1 of 2010, quarter 2 of 2010, quarter 3 of 2010, quarter 4 of 2010. See what I've done here? I've made it the quarter 1 of 2010, the T is equal to 9. The quarter 2 of 2010, I made it to 10 so that it is continuous. So we had 1 to 8 on 2008 and 2009, right? In 2010, I'm continuing it with as 9. Now I'm calculating it, okay? And this is how you calculate the deseasonalized and seasonalized portion of it. So I want you to go through this whole video and then go to the Excel sheet that you have on your blackboard and then practice this so that you can see how we are going and see whether you're getting the same answers and how to do this. Okay, that is the basic idea. Okay, now the next thing that I would like to do is to look at the error terms. Okay, and I'm going to make a different video for the error terms.